Phishing attack. A phishing attack tricks people into revealing sensitive information by pretending to be a trusted source. Attackers often send fake emails, messages, or websites designed to look legitimate. A person might believe they are logging into their bank account or email service, when in reality they are handing their password directly to a hacker. Phishing became extremely common with the growth of the internet because it relies more on human mistakes than technical weaknesses. Malware attack. A malware attack involves harmful software secretly installed on a device. This software can steal data, damage files, spy on activity, or even take control of a system remotely. Malware comes in many forms, including viruses, worms, spyware, and ransomware. These attacks usually spread through infected downloads, email attachments, or compromised websites, and they remain one of the most widespread cyber threats today. Ransomware attack. A ransomware attack locks or encrypts a victim's files and demands payment to restore access. In many cases, businesses, hospitals, and government systems have been forced offline because of these attacks. Ransomware became especially dangerous as hackers realized they could earn large amounts of money by targeting organizations that rely heavily on constant access to their data. Even after payment, there is no guarantee the files will actually be recovered. DDoS Attack. A distributed denial-of-service attack overwhelms a website or online service with massive amounts of traffic. Instead of breaking into a system directly, the goal is to make the service unusable for real users. Attackers often use large networks of infected computers called botnets to generate the traffic. Major websites, gaming platforms, and even financial services have experienced temporary shutdowns because of large DDoS attacks. SQL Injection Attack. An SQL injection attack targets websites that use databases. Hackers insert malicious commands into search bars, login forms, or other input fields to manipulate the database behind the site. If successful, they may gain access to usernames, passwords, customer information, or private company records. This type of attack became notorious because poorly secured websites often unknowingly left these vulnerabilities exposed. Man-in-the-middle attack. A man-in-the-middle attack happens when a hacker secretly intercepts communication between two parties. The victim may believe they are communicating directly with a website or service, while the attacker quietly reads or alters the data in transit. Public Wi-Fi networks have often been used for these attacks because unsecured connections make interception easier. Sensitive information like passwords, banking details, and private messages can all be exposed this way. Password attack. A password attack focuses on stealing or guessing login credentials. Some attackers use automated tools to test huge numbers of passwords rapidly, while others rely on leaked password databases from earlier breaches. Weak or reused passwords make these attacks far more successful. Since so many online services depend on passwords alone, this remains one of the simplest and most effective forms of hacking. Zero-day attack. A zero-day attack exploits a software vulnerability before developers have had time to fix it. Because no official patch exists yet, users are often completely unprotected when the attack begins. These vulnerabilities are extremely valuable in the cybercrime world and are sometimes used in highly targeted attacks against governments, companies, or critical infrastructure. A successful zero-day exploit can remain hidden for long periods before anyone notices. Cross-site scripting attack. A cross-site scripting attack, often called XSS, injects malicious scripts into trusted websites. When users visit the infected page, the script runs inside their browser without their knowledge. Attackers may use this method to steal login sessions, track user activity, or redirect people to dangerous sites. XSS attacks became increasingly common as websites grew more interactive and allowed greater amounts of user-generated content. Brute force attack. A brute force attack repeatedly tries different password combinations until the correct one is found. Modern computers can test thousands or even millions of guesses very quickly, especially against weak passwords. While this method is simple, it can still be surprisingly effective when users choose short or predictable credentials. Security systems often rely on account lockouts or multi-factor authentication to slow these attacks down. Social engineering attack. A social engineering attack manipulates people instead of targeting technology directly. Hackers may pretend to be co-workers, support staff, or trusted contacts in order to gain access to information or systems. In many cases, the attacker succeeds simply because the victim feels pressured, rushed, or convinced by the story being presented. Some of the largest security breaches in history began with a simple act of deception rather than advanced hacking tools. Drive-by download attack. A drive-by download attack infects a device simply by visiting a compromised website. The victim may not click anything or even realize the attack occurred. Hidden scripts exploit browser vulnerabilities and silently install malware in the background. These attacks became more common as cybercriminals learned how to hide malicious code inside advertisements, pop-ups, and seemingly normal web pages.